because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So I wrote, it was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that.
But it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
no, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view.
But you basically go after Trump and Biden, you know, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that. I'm
not equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is doing more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about how he was never going to give up power long ago when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot. And I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot. Finally, new rule. Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you fucked in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying that Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. We are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
The king of chaos strikes again. That legendary middleman who's got a talent for leaving folks scratching their heads just tore through the view like a wrecking ball. And yep, he dropped Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin's names like hot grenades.
But it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
no, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice, who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want, because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the super far left? But don't tell me the left
had... Or maybe the super far right.
Well, he's talking about the left.
Well, then
okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joke. But,
too dark.
The king of chaos strikes again. That legendary middleman, known for leaving folks scratching their heads, just tore through the view like a wrecking ball, dropping Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin's names like live grenades.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women? And are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes. So how can we do that with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
And stop calling for the annihilation of Israel. And all the Jews, they're...
In his latest episode, BillMaher didn't hold back. He called out the woke crowd for repeating the same mistakes, loud outrage, no reflection, then moving on like nothing happened. But this time, he hit harder than usual. What's crazy? They forgot it was a joke. Since when are we not allowed to laugh at something clearly meant to be funny? It felt like common sense had just left the building. And the most telling part? Silence. Maher dropped the truth on live TV, and no one on that panel had a comeback. They just sat there. Sometimes, the truth hits so hard, there's nothing left to say.
But you basically go after Trump and Biden, you know, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that.
Not equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was. I was talking about how he was never going to give up power long ago when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot. And I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot. Because plainly, I was using the term slow-moving coup before he was elected the first time.
That's right.
I said, this guy is never going to concede power. It's impossible to imagine him going, oh, I lost.
Yeah, can't do it.
That's just not in his nature.
So, but I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously, but...
Oh, I don't know about that.
Are you afraid that you might, influence the people who are on the fence?
I think you lose all credibility. I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say, but I'm saying what I really think is true.
Right.
That's. Okay. And look, Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
Well, here's what I said. Like, when I came back after the strike in September, I said, he should get out. Because he's just lost the faith of people. It's not fair. He's actually done a pretty good job. Yeah. But I said he's going to be Ruth Bader Biden. That's the term I use. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She stayed too long at the fair. Yeah. I remember Obama had her over to the White House, like in 2013, to hint, hey, spend more time with the grandkids. That would not be a good idea, Ruth. And she didn't take the hint, and she was not in good health, and she stayed too long, and she ruined her legacy. And
The so-called woke crowd ended up in a tough spot, backing the wrong side while ignoring the very people they claim to support. It's like an identity crisis unfolding. Live. And the moment that really highlighted it? When Joy Behar confidently said, Joe Biden is doing good. That one line said it all.
New rule, someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you fucked in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts and masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't define woman, I mean person who menstruates. You're the teachers union education party, and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
What show is Joy Behar even watching? No shade, but seriously, I've spent the whole year trying to spot just one clear win from Biden, and I've come up empty. If there's something good happening, it's buried deep, and no one's found it. Meanwhile, the far left keeps digging their own hole, shovel in one hand, denial in the other. And if you think I'm kidding, just watch this next clip. They get completely triggered over absolutely nothing, like full meltdown over a meme.
That because of so much incest, has unfortunately had children who are retarded. And the same thing can happen to ideas if they are also conceived in an atmosphere of intellectual incest. Maybe take the clothespins off your noses and actually converse with the other half of the country. Stop screaming at people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting with.
It's always the same act. Fake outrage, dramatic faces, and over-the-top reactions to anything they don't like. But let's be honest, they don't really care. Not about you, me, or anyone outside their bubble. The anger, staged. The concern, just for show. It's all about keeping their audience upset and distracted so no one questions what's really going on.
You can't fix stupid. Sorry, that doesn't work with me. Yeah, you're stupid because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're not thinking about maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we're not perfect. It's like a relationship. You got dumped. America dumped you, and they're all like, you don't know what you had. Yes, they do. They know what they had, and what they're saying is, we know what we had, and you're a mess.
Here's where it gets wild. Saying the quiet part out loud is now the far-left media's whole brand. They don't even try to hide the bias anymore. One day it's this, the next day it's that. And if you notice the flip-flop, you're the crazy one. That's why voices like BillMaher hit different. Love him or not, he's calling out the chaos with no filters. Meanwhile, The View acts like they've got some moral GPS that's never wrong. Spoiler, they never even consider they might be.
Before Congress this week amid accusations of liberal bias. Should the government continue to send taxpayer dollars to public broadcasters? Well, a little background here. I mean, they've been after them the Republicans have wanted to get rid of PBS for as long as I can remember. This crowd will probably do it. I mean, I also read my namesake, Catherine Maher, was head of NPR, and, she said, we're completely unbiased. Give me a break, lady. I mean, they're crazy far left. So, I mean, I think we're past the age, really, where the government, first of all, why do we need to subsidize? Why can't we have outlets like this? And we're so polarized. These outlets became popular at a time when Republicans and Democrats didn't hate each other and weren't at each other's throats and didn't think each other was an existential threat. In that world, you can't have places like this, I think, anymore. They have to be.
Maybe we're the problem. The left keeps drifting further into absurdity, like watching a slow-motion car crash. You don't want to look, but you can't look away. Nothing's improving, and even their die-hard supporters are questioning the script. And the media, their empire's crumbling. Once they controlled the narrative, but now they're buckling under their own contradictions. They used to scream about cutting government funding, but now they're the ones failing. Their ratings are crashing, and viewers are tuning out. It's poetic justice, really. Built on outrage, identity politics, and cancel culture. Now they're choking on their own strategy. People are tired, switching off, and once that happens, there's no going back. You don't have to love BillMaher, but when he calls out what no one else dares to, I'm listening. If this breakdown hit you like it did me, smash that like button, drop a comment, and hit subscribe. The ride isn't slowing down anytime soon. See you next time. Things are about to get wilder.